Hey, this is the video that's like severely overdue. This is the everything about Amidala cosplay. I am still getting over being sick, hence my voice, hence why this video took so long, because I was sick twice throughout March/April. Yay. I'm gonna put timestamps in the description if you have particular things that you actually want to know about this cosplay, because I'm going to start off about how I made it, but then I also went to ComiCon with it. So there's also that. Where to begin? This is the first big project I did. This project came up because I wanted to do a recreation photo with my brother from when we were children. I believe I was something like 8-7 years old, if I, the timeline of when the first episode of Star Wars came out, when she wore this outfit. And so he wore this like tiger onesie, which I put together. Not entirely, all I did was add on the white fur because it was missing the white fur. And then I thought, I'm gonna go all out on this Queen Amidala outfit. I don't know what I thought my abilities were, but I was committed. And so, because I'm a perfectionist, I did not want to do this dress in 2 parts because it is a very long dress, and so it was very difficult if I were to do it eyeballing with all the red fabric, which I was limited on. I actually was very thankful that it was around Christmas time where I needed more fabric, because obviously there's gonna be a lot of red fabric around Christmas time. I was able to find more of that exact fabric. Thank God. Starting off with the base ring. The base ring is actually made out of copper insulation, like copper pipe insulation. So I used 2 6-footer of those copper pipe insulations to make the loop, which I covered in brown fur fabric, which I had to stitch by hand because that stuff my sewing machine does not like fur. And the part that was tricky was making sure those red strips were a full long strip instead of 2 parts, because there was no way in hell I was going to leave a seam and do this in 2 sections. So I did what's called a mock-up, I guess you'd say, and that's where Lucas came in handy. So I used like terrible white fabric that I had hanging around. I made it in 2 parts, kind of clipped it at the bottom of the loop, did the top. I hadn't really fitted it to the sides or anything. I got Lucas to help me do that, and then I got him to draw dotted lines of the strips, and like, because of what he does for a living, luckily he's a perfectionist too when it comes to measurements and making sure things are equal, and so he was very helpful in making those strips so that I could have some sort of template when going to apply the red fabric. It was really funny because this thing had no sleeves yet, and I had a toque on, and you can imagine me with my Hufflepuff toque coming out of this white fabric thing with a freaking loop at the bottom. I looked like a living condom. That's I'm gonna say it. That's what I looked like. So eventually I get all the red pieces cut up, and then I had to do a similar thing with the sleeves, which at least I can figure out on my own. And then the bulbs. I got transparent Warbler. If you don't know what Warbler is, it's a thermoplastic, so it can be molded once heated. And I was hoping that the transparency of the Warbler would help me if I wanted to illuminate those bulbs at any point in time later in the future. I don't know if they can or not. I haven't tried, because I also used orange and yellow paint and stuff on them to give them their color, and then I used regular Warbler to make the base the brown part, and then eventually afterwards I looked up what they were supposed to look like. Apparently they're supposed to look like ladybugs. I thought they were supposed to look like torch lanterns and a dress. I don't know. I just call them eggs. I ended up learning that there are supposed to be 6 of these bulb eggs, and I was only able to fit 4 because I didn't make the base big enough. So I put a zipper on the back. I did not give a crap about the collar because I knew there was going to be these shoulder pad things going over top, which aren't really shoulder pads. I use interfacing. Interfacing is a fabric that's very, very thick stuff. It's sewable, it's fabric, but it keeps its shape. And then apply, you know, I think I use a satin fabric for that actually. The thing with her top part is that you'll notice there's a bunch of like zigzags. So I had to sew all those zigzags to give it the texture. Thing in the middle, the design, obviously I wanted to make sure the design was appropriate and accurate. So I did my best and used fabric paints, this gold fabric paint, and did that all by hand. Also had to stitch on all the brown fur by hand, of course. Velcro piece on the back so that it was just Velcro that was going along the back. If you do have any further questions though, please do make a comment. I will answer as best as I can as to how I made this thing. I'm looking over here because it's here's hanging still. Like I have it in a bunch, just kind of like wrapped up in like a plastic sheet because that's how I've been carrying it around to keep it safe from the elements. Moving on to the wig. So I had bought 3 sets of those pipe insulation pieces, those 6-footers, and I obviously didn't need the 3rd. So that ended up taking part in the wig. So to make sure the shape of the wig was the right shape, I first traced out and basically used the foam, EVA foam, to make sure I had the right frontal view shape of the wig. This is how I'm doing this now. So once I had the shape from the front perspective of the wig, I then used that pipe insulation to make it thicker, and then I used duct tape. I'm not a professional, okay? I just work with what I got. Painted the duct tape brown so that when I go to apply hair, it's gonna like not be noticeable that there's duct tape underneath. And so what I used for the hair was a crap ton of hair extensions that I just got off Amazon. So I used hot glue because other people I've seen used spray glue. Some people use brush-on glue, and it just wasn't, no. I went to hot glue. Yes, there were flyaways. How did I fix that? I used my heat gun, which worked. But for the sections where there were a lot of flyaways, I learned because of the syntheticness of the hair that it really likes to clump up in sections. So I did my best to put those in the back of the wig and or covered it when it came to the actual accessories. So that isn't even like the base of the wig. I have a separate actual wig that I then braided the crap out of, which I also had to use glue and like mini elastics and stuff for, because you don't see the back of her head much, and I had to do a lot of Googling to figure out what the hell her hair looks like back there. Figured it out. It's a crap ton of braids. So once all the braids were in, once all of like the hair was wrapped around the shape of my insulation tube duct tape situation, I then put on the base wig, put more hot glue around the frame of the hair extension piece, and then I looked in the mirror. I just prayed that I was putting it in the right spot. Sure enough, I did good. So once that piece was on, then I can go on to the accessory pieces, which I use EVA foam for. I also used red lace fabric, which I also used to give it that texture and that look that she has on her headpiece. I managed to find like a really big red rhinestone. Thankfully I found that. I don't know what I was going to do if I couldn't. And then to give it more texture, I also use fabric paint. I don't think I used any color in particular. I just probably used whatever I had a lot of. So, and then I went over top of it with the appropriate color, which was like silver and gold. The earpieces, I shaped them with EVA foam and aluminum foil first before then applying foam clay to give them their shape. And then same thing, I used fabric paint to texturize them and then paint them gold. Honest to God, I put on that wig and like kind of like was tracing with paper the centerpiece, and same thing for these big pieces along the side to make sure they were the right size, not only to the wig but also proportionate with my face. I know you hear the ice. I'm probably annoying the hell out of you with that, but it is quarter after 4 a.m. so I'm hydrating. Again, if you have any further questions about how I did the wig, I will do the best I can to answer those questions. Yeah, I'm also looking at it right now. It's on the shelf up there. So then Comic-Con happened. That was an experience. I had decided that I was going to wear my Queen Amidala outfit because it was cooler outside. I know it was going to be hot inside, which I made the best investment. It got a handheld portable fan that was rechargeable, had 3 speed settings, and it was a lifesaver because I was so sweaty. And this would be the first time that this cosplay has been ever seen in public, basically. So Lucas came with me. He was literally my fanboy that day because he was like holding the fan for me as much as he could to keep me cool because I was, like I said, sweating. So I did not drive in the costume. Let's get that straight first. So what I did was we drove to the location. We got the underground parking and I got dressed in the underground parking. Makeup and all in the underground parking, which, like I said, at least the makeup's not complicated, so like it didn't take long to do. I made my way up to ground level and we're in front of the convention center, and before I even get in the building, people are wanting to take photos with me. This is the thing I did not expect. You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I did not expect people to want to take photos with me. I didn't think I was going to get the attention that I did that day, but holy hell did I not take pictures with 100 if not more people. So we're setting up our passes. Lucas needs to then go to use the bathroom before we go into the actual convention itself. And as I'm waiting for him, of course, I didn't expect this, as usual. I don't know why I thought this. But in the time he went to the bathroom, I'm all of a sudden having a 10-minute interview with the news. And also they asked if I spoke French. And in my mind I'm like, technically yes. Is it rusty though? Absolutely, because I don't get to use it much anymore because of where I work. But they still interviewed me in French. So they used my English interview in a video, and in their article they also then used my answers and their questions and quoted them in an article in French. All not expected. It was weird seeing my real full name in the news. Again, I feel so silly that I thought I was gonna just walk around freely and not be taking pictures of a million times that day, but goodbye. Here I am making this video because that was crazy. Yes, I am a weirdo. Yes, I did find the news article and printed it out and have it framed. And I have it sitting in front of my wig. It was an insane day. I couldn't go 5 minutes without people stopping for me to take photos with them. I've had TikTokers, they want to do like their whole transition video thing. I don't do TikTok. I don't know where those TikToks are now, but they're out there. Go find them. Tag me. Send them to me. I don't know. So incredible, the different ages of people that wanted to take photos with me. From tiny children to grown-ass men in their, 50s, 40s, just wanting to take photos with me because like Star Wars is a part of their childhood. It's a part of everyone's childhood these days, I think. And some funny things happened too along the way, of course. For example, there was these 2 moms that took photos with me. They had like 5 kids with them, and they got to take photos with me. One was dressed as Korra. It was so freaking cute. And after they took photos with me, the moms look over and there's a guy that's fully dressed up as Gandalf. I thought I was hot. I don't know how he wore that outfit. And the moms look at him and say, "Look, Harry Potter!" I immediately was like, no, Lord of the Rings, Gandalf. And they look at me, they're like, I'm sorry, we're new. I feel really bad for a Gandalf being confused for a Dumbledore. Just so black and white. Oh, back up in time. As I was walking around, I needed to go to the bathroom. And so I was really hoping that there was gonna be a handicap stall available so I can have space. And there was one handicap stall, and there was a person just chilling in there, just sitting in there. Now I had to squeeze myself into a very, very skinny stall. And there were some other people in there trying to get their cosplays on or whatever, and they're just like, good luck. And I go in and I felt so defeated. I felt so defeated in that stall. I felt impossible. I'm trying to reach underneath and get my shorts down. And while trying to do that, 3 of my eggs fall out. So defeated. I was so hot. I was so sweaty and I just wanted to pee. So eventually I do. I get out of the stall and one of the cosplayers is like, how did it go? And I just show them my eggs and I'm like, Bren, bless you. Follow Bren if you want to see them in action with their cosplays because they do sweet stuff. They're more professional than I am. They had a glue gun. Every convention has a booth now to do cosplay repairs because of how many people do cosplay, but I had no idea where that was. I would feel really embarrassed to walk out with these holes in my dress because the eggs are not in their place. So I felt so thankful that they had a glue gun so I can use it. I got those suckers in place and they were staying this time. So thank you, Brett. Thank you. Thank you very much. And let's continue to some funny things. I think there was a miscommunication. I think there was a slight language barrier as to what was occurring. Because someone stopped me with their stroller and their friend and they're like, can we take pictures? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking she's like, now gonna take her baby out of the stroller and then she's gonna take a photo with me and her baby. That is what I thought was occurring. That was not what was occurring. He straight up hands me her baby and I'm holding this thing and it's got his face covered, so I'm trying to get its little hood up and I'm like, okay, I don't know who you think I am. I don't know what makes you think I'm qualified to hold this baby. You don't even know what I do for a living, but thank God I do what I do for a living to be doing this. We go down into another level and we find out that a cosplay red carpet is about to start. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna blend in with the carpet, but let's try this out. And it's a long line and they're telling us that you might not make it on, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what's it gonna hurt? And I'm telling Lucas if he wants to go walk around or do whatever, he can, but he was a champ and was literally being my fanboy, holding my fan for me to stay cool. And yeah, as we got closer to the end of the line, as things were starting to move, he eventually went out so that he can take some footage for me as I walked out on the red carpet, which they were really trying to speed people through, which understandably because of how many people there were that wanted to go on the red carpet.
Next up we got Queen Amidala, royalty. Remember, we wave like this as if to say thank you for being here today. Thank you for being here today.
That red carpet definitely exposed me more to people because there was a lot of people watching and people with really large cameras, especially. So as soon as I got off that red carpet, I get over to an opening and people are wanting to take photos with me. They want to take action shots with me with their big fancy cameras. Like, I was surrounded by people all of a sudden to take photos. It was insane. Some people gave me their cards, and that's the one thing I regret not doing is having cards. If you are a big cosplayer or wanting to be a big cosplayer and going to events, make sure you have cards. So 2 days later after the convention is when I ordered myself cards because now I'm going to be going to more events because I'm now learning that this is my niche thing now and what I'm good at. So I'm making more cosplays and I'm planning to go to more events. And so that is my story of everything about Queen Amidala cosplay. And I don't want to be known as the Queen Amidala girl. I do want to use it more at different conventions. but I'm definitely currently working on some other big things. I need to somehow top Queen Amidala a little bit here, but also go in my own favorite domain of anime. So I do have some anime cosplays on the go. That night of Comic-Con though was the anime rave as well with We Touch Grass. They are sick. I love going to these raves. They are so fun. They are probably the most sober raves you'll go to because everyone is legitimately just having fun jamming to anime music. And I went there as Levy McGarden from Fairy Tail. I still think I looked cute AF in that outfit. I love that outfit. I loved how the wig turned out. It just worked out great. It was the perfect rave outfit. I was very thankful that some cosplayers from Comic-Con recognized me not only from my Queen Amidala, but then my Levy outfit and messaged me later that night, and I have little cosplay friends now. So I think this is my thing now. I think I found my place. So again, if you have any further questions about how I did the cosplays, maybe you're wondering what I'm doing next, if you are, make sure not only that you subscribe here, but also that you follow me on my Instagram because I put sneak peeks of things on there. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this and maybe this was informative for you on how to do your own cosplay. Well, it's all improvised, guys. You fake it till you make it. You try new things. You do trial and error. It is not gonna be perfect. Trust me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!